Next segment I really like. It's called Story Time, Mountaineer to Mountaineer, where basically I just go ahead and talk to a mountaineer and they just tell stories, usually funny stories, good stories, great memories of being a mountaineer at WVU. Yeah. And this week we're going to go ahead and we're going to talk to Darryl Prue, WVU Basketball Hall of Fame. It's brought to you by Kegler Sports Bar and Grill. But before I go, don't forget, you can go to WVU Time 2 Climb.com. That's WVU Time 2 Climb.com. And you can join up and support your favorite Mountaineer team for $21 a month, $252 a year. Support your favorite Mountaineer team. I do it. Hey, it's not a huge amount, $21 going into what your favorite team is. So, Darryl Prue, Story Time, Mountaineer to Mountaineer. And today we'll be talking to Darryl Prue, who played basketball here from 1986 through 89. He's now currently in the WVU Hall of Fame, where he scored 1,465 points for West Virginia, which currently ranks 20th. And he currently is in second place right now, all-time in field goal percentage at 56%. Darryl had 865 rebounds, which puts him at 11th. And at the time that he graduated with 230 steals, he was number 2, which now equates to number 4. Darryl Prue was a beast forward and very versatile. Let's check him out. Roll it. And as I said, right now we have recent Hall of Famer Darryl Prue, Mountaineer basketball. DP, how you doing, buddy?
I'm doing good, Dale. How you doing?
Man, I'm doing great. I'm doing really well, but I see a picture right behind you. Is that you?
Yeah, man, it's me. Grandma kept it. So I got a couple of pictures. I got a couple of pictures around the house.
Well, show me the other picture that he showed me the last time.
Yeah, so this one someone drew with a pencil, and I have another one right here I just found recently. So my grandparents did a good job of keeping a lot of different things.
I mean, do you always keep that stuff all around you?
Oh, yeah. Every time I do Zoom, even when I do my Zoom class for my kids, I always have this behind me. Mr. Prue, is that you? I'm like, yeah, it's me.
Oh, my God, man. That's awesome. Now, let's talk about what you're doing now and how you feel about being in the WVU Hall of Fame.
Right now, I'm a head basketball coach at T.C. Williams High School in Alexandria, Virginia. One of our alumni, Tyrone Shaw, went there a long time ago. But that's what I'm doing now. And the Hall of Fame thing was great. Yeah, I wish my grandmother couldn't go. She couldn't come, but she saw the poster and she pointed to it. Oh, that's Darryl. Even if she had her dementias, but she still remembered that. So that was a big thing for me.
This is story time, as we talked about. It's Mountaineer to Mountaineer, and tell me about your crew there that you had those 4 years, especially that 88 to 89 season.
Very entertaining and pretty tight-knit group. I thought we were tighter than the previous years. But it was just, it was a lot of fun. We made it a lot of fun. I'm probably the only player that played with 2 starting guards that was from West Virginia, and rural West Virginia at that, Beckley and Mullins. Steve Kane, he had a little chip on his shoulder. He was a Starkey guard. He was a really nice guy. Herbie, I met him when I first got there. Also a really nice guy, but he used to talk about, how we like to go home with guys and stuff like that. I was scared to go home with him because he talked about he ate raccoon before. He ate squirrel. Me and Chris was like, hell no, we're not going on no damn Mullins. But I ended up going there a few years ago, but it was times that, me and Chris would be on a road. Me and him was roommates, and we either gonna fight over the remote control or we're gonna fight over the bathroom. Who's gonna use the bathroom first? Y'all know, and all the men know about that bathroom first. So I remember one day we was playing in the NCAA tournament. We were about to play Tennessee, and me and Chris in the hallway wrestling. And y'all know how big me and Chris were. So, both of us in the hallway. And a scout from the NBA team, it was Danny Manning's father. He was sat there and watched us for 5 or 10 minutes battle to get to this door. And we wasn't mad at each other. We were just battling, trying to get to this door, to open this door first. And there wasn't no swipe key. It was a key you had to put in the door and turn it. So every time somebody get the key and put it and turn it, you snatch the key out the door and fight for the key and push them down the hall, run back to the door and try to put the key in and get in there before the next person does. Yeah. There was another time Chris was wrestling somebody in the locker room, and they broke their toe. And the bone came out of the toe. It was the nastiest thing I ever seen. And it just popped out. It was wrestling, it just popped out. I don't know if it was Kroger or Yo. I think it was Kroger. Big Kroger. I think it was him. And his toe popped out, the skin. Oh my gosh. It was the nastiest thing ever.
Wow, that's a great story. Thanks.
So they wanted me to get on one of those little planes. And there was a little propeller. So I don't like flying. So I said, I will come. I said, but I'm not getting on that plane. So they sent Coach Darryl Ford to me. So he's from D.C. So Coach Ford came and picked me up from my house. So he drove to 3.5 hours, and I loved him. For some reason, I don't know what it was. I love Coach Ford, and then I spoke to came here. They took me to beside James. It was a steak place. I remember that they took me to the steak place, and everybody knew I was there. Like everybody knew I was there. So I guess I looked at the paper, and I saw that they had told everybody I was coming in town. It was in the summertime. So when no kids are around. So I took a visit when no kids are around. And, so it was, it was a little different when the kids are around, but I took a visit when no kids are around.
I wanted to ask you, I'm glad you told that story. What was your first reaction that you remember playing in front of a Mountaineer Nation, man? The Coliseum, it could be a rocking place.
Oh, man. I remember playing. It was, you hear about it. I didn't run on the carpet first because I came off the bench first. And, it was like, wow, it's a lot of people. You know what I mean? It's just like, then the gun scared me, then, you know what I mean? All the noise. Then, I don't know who it was from my freshman year. They was like, yeah, we're going to start up in the student section. They go, Prue. And after that, I was good.
With Coach Gail Catlett. You have a story too?
Yeah, I got a couple stories. I remember one story. He came in the locker room. He was talking to us. And and the people, I don't know what he was saying to the guys. And he was looking around. He's like, you guys on drugs? Randy, drug test. He's talking to us. So, sometimes, then one time, I don't know what happened. We went to, it was around Halloween. It was my freshman year. And the story was a couple of basketball players ran into a fire truck. I won't name no names.
You don't need to throw them under it.
I won't throw them under. I asked them about it, but they said it wasn't true. And I also heard these same two guys were in a bar downtown in cheerleaders uniforms dancing on the bar. And both of them are 6'5", one of them 6'5", and one of them 6'8". And he ran the smack out of us. I mean, we used to run, it called 17s from sideline to sideline. He pushed the bleachers in the Coliseum, and we ran from bleacher to bleacher when it was closed. Oh my gosh. And we played the next home game. We was playing, we were so slow. It was like he was running in mud. It was just, those were the days, but he was very funny.
What was he like in the timeout huddles?
He was great. He was great. I learned a lot from him as I'm coaching now, how to pick people apart. And the biggest compliment he gave me one time, or a few times, especially the senior year, he asked me what I think and who should I put in, who should I, keep on the floor, and what I think. So that showed my growth as a player, but it showed the trust he had in me also. Coach Catlett being there right to play, that thing go boom. He had to drop out his hand. The referees got scared, so they said the gun cannot go off when the clock is running. So that's the only time it can run is only time it can shoot it off is when it is a timeout. I've always been about the people, and that feels good. You never asked nobody for anything, but that love you can't take. I was in Charleston a few months ago, and a person was talking about the basketball game. I say, you like basketball, huh? She said, yeah. And she said, did you play basketball? I said, yeah. I said, I played at West Virginia. So she said, what's your name? I said, Darryl Prue. Oh my God, she went off. It was like almost 30-something, 40 years old. She went off. She knew exactly who I was. It was crazy. And she ran outside. And I was like, nice meeting you, this and that. So it was just like people that still remember your name from 1989. How many years ago? That's 30 years ago? Yeah. Always. I love it. It's my second home. I got to tell people, why'd you go to West Virginia? Why you do this? Why this? I said, I got a whole state that love me. I said, I got a whole state 30 years ago, I played and they still love me. You can't fight that. You can't, that's something that people don't understand because they, all these other places have their other sports, their pro sports. Unlike West Virginia University was their pro sport. You have people who's 40 years old that, still hit me up on Facebook. Oh, I remember you did this and you were so nice to me. You did this. And, that's what it's about.